Jeremiah with a freaking stud springer.
We out.
Hey, good morning, addicts. Another beautiful day on the Columbia River. We have got a very special event for you. It's been in the planning for months, but you know what? It's dark. We need to get these lines in the water because nothing happens in this video or today for all this planning, everything going into it, unless we catch a salmon right now.
Everyone, Cam is so worried that we're not going to catch a fish. He have little faith. We have the legend.
There's a lot of prep and planning into this.
We will catch a lot.
He's just cursing us right now. We're screwed. And then we're going to lose one, and then it's going to be like noon, and we might get a jack. The way it goes, you're like...
You ever seen a guide that's not confident like this one? Because I haven't. Most guides are usually pretty cocky. This guy's like, oh, we might not catch one. We might catch one.
5 minutes later.
He's right here. He's right here. Fish.
Here he is. Here he is. You got this. It's you. We got him.
Fish in the gear. You got him, Jeremiah? Yep. Got him. Reel him up.
What did I say? I told you.
We haven't landed it yet, Smarty.
Doesn't matter.
I'm watching the screen going, fish in the gear. I'm like, oh wait, he's on the rod. Crank all those rods up, guys. Dump the rod down low. Get ready to put the rod on. Big one? It's a big one. It's a good one. We want him. Smoking it. This is the hottest fish of the year right now. It's like one of the most important fish we want to catch right now, guys. We haven't introduced this man here, but you're going to see some pretty amazing stuff today if he lands this fish. Go. Good fish. Drop the lead down. We got him, guys. Look at that. Hooks popped out. But look at this salmon. It is a stud.
Oh, that's taco meat right there.
That is taco meat. Dude, that is like the most pristine springer right there.
Okay, put him back in so I can catch one. Spin around.
Boom!
That is a good one.
You guys, Jeremiah, introduce yourself to the camera right here with this big fish in your hand explain to everybody what we're going to be doing today.
So my name is Jeremiah Dowdy with From Field to Plate, and our whole goal today is to take the freshest salmon we can get and cook it over on our Traeger Rangers. So we've got 4 really cool recipes we're doing today. We're going to do tacos, we're going to do salmon cakes, we're going to do a teriyaki glaze with red wine. It's going to be pretty intense. So this guy right here is not only going to feed us, but it's going to tell a really cool story, so stay tuned.
Jeremiah with a freaking stud springer. But we're gonna bleed this fish kind of right away because we are doing the most ridiculous fresh catch and cook we can possibly do. But we're gonna give this fish a few moments before we get the activities started today to bleed out and make sure it's a good quality fish to eat.
All right, so what we've done is we've washed down the fish, we've bled the fish. Kind of the importance of eating this right away is to get it cold. So we've got it on ice. We want to chill this down so when we fillet it out, we throw it on the grill. It's not going to be milly. It's not going to start falling apart on us. It's really going to stay firm when we're cooking it. So we've got it on ice. Like I said, we've bled it out so you can see the gills are nice and clean in here. We're not really getting full of blood. That's going to really play to that taste. A lot of times people get that irony, that livery taste when they're doing fish. They're not taking the time to prep it before they cook it. So it's on ice. We're gonna eat this probably in the next hour or so stay tuned for some fun.
Got a little millennial trophy coon shrimp. You think a lot of guys...
Coon shrimp work so good they need a trophy.
They work so good they need a trophy. They deserve a trophy. No, the reality is I think a lot of guys make a lot of their own stuff, and I do make a lot of my own stuff, but man, when this stuff's working and I don't have to make it, I can just go to Bill to get some. Why not?
I just
My
like
life
how it's
easy.
very, one of the things I love about this bait, it's very consistent. Every time you get it in the store, it's always the same. It always works just as good. And it has been convenient to have a nice, good quality bait that you can just go buy anywhere.
So that's the thing about these. That's the thing about these springers, man. They're so tasty. You want them dead. Fall fish, we'll let them fight a little bit. Springers, Here you go, bud. Good work. Oh, it's a freaking fat one. Look at that. Look at that thing. Look at that. Just freaking dimey. All right, guys, mission accomplished. Bite's over for now. We're gonna just hang offside here, and trust me, if these guys start getting at them, we're gonna go get a few. Put a couple in the box. Pretty sweet start. But now we're getting to the meat of it. So I don't want to let the rabbit out of the hat just yet. But basically, you need a half of this salmon, one of these salmon, so you can do some of your recipes. And one thing we're gonna do, guys, is we're gonna knock one of these fillets off the fish, but keep in mind that this is actually legal to do while we retain parts of the carcasses that can still be identifiable for hatchery salmon and for a Chinook. We double checked this with WDFW enforcement, so you know, we're not out here just like catching fish and then eating them and then they're not being counted or not being you know, checked in by some of the guys at the ramp. So totally legal to do. We are going to retain the carcass, but we need to get busy.
Yeah,
so
let's do it.
one salmon to start.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Make us some special food.
Look at that, guys. Beautiful, beautiful. Super cold, firm. Now, the adipose fin is what is required to be clipped for us to retain it. So I'm probably going to be really careful and make sure I leave that place on the fish so people can see that it was a hatchery fish. Because you obviously don't want to be doing this with wilds out here.
All right, so what we're gonna do is, if you actually look around us, these
Camera.
but he doesn't. They're looking at fish. We're looking at this fish that's right here. So they can talk all they want back there. But if you actually look around us, we got a ton of guys out here still fishing. We've got some fish on here. We're gonna start cooking some lunch. If you turn right over here, we've got two of the Traeger Rangers going. I got them both set to high. We're I think 375, 350. So those are heating up. Those are rolling smoke. So we're gonna prep our salmon. We're gonna do two different salmon dishes for our first kind of our lunch type break. These are skinned salmon. Still the pin bones, but for what we're doing, we really don't have to worry about those pin bones being in there. So we're gonna do two of them today. We're actually gonna make a salmon cake with a kind of a Cajun truffle tartar sauce. And we're gonna be able to take those. So we're actually gonna use the cast iron skillet that comes with the Ranger, be able to crisp up these salmon cakes and enjoy that. We're also gonna make salmon tacos. So for our salmon cakes, we're just gonna do a simple salt and pepper. This is just smoked pepper, smoked salt. This is my own kind of version of smoked salt. What I do is I take the salt, throw it in the smoker, let it roll on a low super smoke for 8 to 9 hours. That's why you see it's so dark compared to normal salt. So we're just gonna do a simple salt and pepper on this one for the salmon cakes, because we're gonna add a lot of flavor and depth when we get into actually making the cake once this salmon cooks. So we're just gonna kind of add some flavor to this overall salmon itself with some smoked pepper and some of this smoked salt. Kind of the misconception a lot of people have when they're cooking wild game or they're cooking fresh fish is to over season, try to mask that fishy flavor. But this fish being so fresh, we're not trying to mask anything. We're trying to enhance that flavor. That's kind of the whole point of this whole from field to plate experience, is really to eat that fresh food and not mask what we want. So simple salt and pepper on this is really going to kind of give us that best salmon flavor. So we're going to take this one that's all seasoned up with salt and pepper. We're going to go right over here to the one that's already at 370 degrees. And there's two parts of the salmon. There's the part that was going to be on the inside, the part where that skin is. We're going to put where the skin was side down. We're going to let that sucker cook for about 10 to 15 minutes until it starts to get flaky. So the next one we're going to make is salmon tacos. So we've got some fresh tortillas. We're going to make an avocado salsa to go on top, some red Napa cabbage. So I've got a little, again, we're on the boat, so having a ton of seasonings isn't really going to work. I have a homemade taco seasoning here, a lot of cumin, a lot of all that really good Mexican oregano and spices, garlic powder. So our goal on this is to kind of do the same thing. We're going to use a wet hand, dry hand method like we do in the restaurant. So one dry hand to sprinkle the seasoning. And we're going to have a wet hand, which is going to pat in that seasoning. You can see all the fresh onion, fresh garlic. And we're going to coat this thing heavily because we want to get that kind of that taco flavor into this salmon. We're going to leave that belly on there because we'll be able to pull that off and add that to our tacos as well. What we're doing is kind of creating a crust on this. So as it cooks, I put a little bit of white sugar in here that's going to help this break down. It's really not going to add a sweetness, but it's going to kind of help add this as a crust as it cooks. So when we pull it to put it onto our tacos, it'll have more of that crunch that you want. All right, we're going to go right over here to this Traeger over here. We're going to do the same thing. We realize that this is kind of where that belly is. We're going to put this side up. Let that cook for just a second. So now comes the fun part. We're just going to kind of let these cook and start kind of just melding and get better. What we're going to do though is we're going to start prepping everything else. So we're going to get that avocado salsa ready. We're going to start getting all the other ingredients ready for those salmon cakes. So that way, as soon as these salmon are done, we're not letting it dry out. We're actually starting to process and make food continually. So we'll get over here to the cutting board. It's all cleaned off. It's all nice. We're going to cut some veg. We're going to cut some avocado and really start developing flavors.
That's going to tell you, the bingo fish. Even though we already started our day, that's still going to be Oh, you lost your coonie, Ben.
And what we're doing is we're just going to make a simple cake. Cool thing is this recipe will be up for you guys to click on. I'll make sure that everyone has it. So what we're doing is we're trying to make it so that it sticks together when we hold it up. It's not going to fall over. If you pick this up and this whole thing starts to fall, the problem is it's not going to stay once it gets onto your griddle. So out here we've got a hot cast iron going on this Traeger Ranger. If you're at home, get a hot cast iron skillet, get a really good non-stick like a Hexclad or something like that for these to cook on. Don't just throw it right on a grill. They're just going to fall apart. You want to get kind of that crust and char in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of start to make a meatball in a sense with this salmon. As you can see, it's staying together. It's not falling apart. That's what we're looking for. Once we get that meatball, we're going to start to flatten this sucker out just like you would a crab cake or any other fish cake. And we're just going to form it out. We're going to set it down in our pan so we can go throw those on that hot cast iron and sear it up on each side. We're using an almond oil. You can use an avocado oil. You want a high flash point oil on here. What we're going to do is we're going to take these cakes and we just want to start to crisp them up. See how the bubbles going? That's what we want. We want to start to build a crust on these cakes so they'll stay together. What we're going to do is we're going to shut that and we're going to let that cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. If it starts getting too dark, we can turn it down a little bit. But we want to build that nice crunch on that. So we're just gonna let that go and we'll come back to that after we make our sauce. Plate these in a nice, pretty little pattern. And I made a homemade tartar sauce on the boat. It's not jarred, not canned. In there you've got dried morels, you have a Cajun Creole seasoning, you've got dill relish, you have diced up dill, sweet Vidalia onions, mayonnaise, salt, that smoked pepper that we're gonna do. So we're gonna take a little bit of this each and we're gonna kind of layer it over a little bit. Just so people can get it, take a bite, and get all those flavors. We'll throw a little bit more in the middle. A nice little fine mince on them. Simple, easy salmon cakes on the river with the freshest fish in the world.
Grab one, take a bite.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Spring Chinook salmon.
Spring Chinook salmon cake caught 2 hours
Oh, there's a
ago.
plate for you.
Fresh on the water. I'm just going big, guys. I can tell it's hot. Here we go.
Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited right now.
Marlon, that is the best salmon anything I've ever had.
Mmm. Dude, that tartar sauce.
All of it.
Money.
Not bad for a white boy.
Mm-hmm. Not bad for a white boy from California. Damn, those are good.
I'm gonna be like, so I was fishing while he was doing that recipe. I'll be rewatching that to figure
Well,
out.
I'm gonna give you guys all.
I wish you guys could taste this right now.
I'm not gonna.
Field to plate, guys. I'm gonna have a link down here to his Instagram and some of his other social platforms if you guys want to check him out. Sorry, I'm talking with my mouth full. I can't help it. It's just too good.
That is one of the best salmon dishes I've ever had in my life.
We literally cooked these on the Traeger on our boat. That's pretty next level.
Honestly, all the other YouTubers beat that catch and cook, boys.
Okay.
I always have a thing that camera guys always get left out.
We don't
So
like ours.
Feelings mutual. Oh my god.
That is so
That is
dumb.
unbelievable.
That is, I can say, honest to God, that is the best salmon anything I've ever had in my life. And it's a meal. This is of course one, I think, of a few.
I was like, this is only course one. This is only
I-
appetizer.
Insanely.
Great job, dude. Jordan, I love you, buddy, but I've never had a meal like that, dude. I'm sorry. You make some good food, but nothing
only
close
the
to this guy.
No way. He's got one on. You did.
You okay?
Easy, easy.
Oh, that's that big old bite on the steel.
He's good. I hate when our meals get interrupted.
Way to go, Ben.
Ben, open your bag.
So here's the deal. We got salmon on the Traeger, salmon on the line. I think it's time to open a bottle of wine and celebrate.
That was sick.
that hot cast iron still way up. There's still oil on that. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna warm up these fresh tortillas on that flat top just to kind of get them warm, get a nice little char on them, so we can make our salmon tacos, because we have our salmon for our tacos right there, and it's all finished, ready to be pulled and shredded as well. So the cool thing about the way this Traeger is set up is we can set these here and close it and come right back, and they'll start getting warm as well without starting to get charred and crispy too much. So once those come up, we've worked on a basic avocado salsa. In here we've got red onions, cilantro, salt, pepper, garlic, and that's pretty much just a basic salsa. A lot of times you go to restaurants and they overpower it with all the tomatoes, all the really crazy spices, which is what you need when you're eating beef, when you're eating pork. But when you're eating something so delicate like salmon, but if we have that acids like the tomatoes and stuff, it's just gonna overpower that taco. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring these tacos out, we're gonna plate them, throw some nice beautiful red cabbage on there, and be able to eat some pretty crazy salmon tacos. So some tacos, boys.
Oh my dear
Probably good too.
Lord.
Don't gotta tell me twice.
Probably be good too.
Dip it in the rest of that tartar sauce like I just did.
Oh, I love my logs all over.
I'm in food heaven right now.
Huh?
I need to learn how to cook better.
All right, let's see if this beats the, what Marlon said. Did it beat the crab cake? Okay, hold on.
Crab cakes. So it wasn't crab cake though, so.
Ridiculous.
Remember that.
Whatever he did to the avocados is amazing. The salmon, of course, is spring chinook, guys. Oh heavens. Let's try that. I mean, it's like 3 of my favorite things. It's like that sauce, avocados, and then a taco. Sorry guys, there's no taste vision because I don't want to make myself choose. I'm gonna wipe my hand with a nice baited bloody glove. I'm gonna say cakes, but like only by the fact that it was first. If I would have eaten this first, I probably would have said this. I don't know. Get that camera out of my face.
So one of the cool things about today also is we have a wine specialist on the boat with us. So he's helping us pair some wine with our meals that he's cooking. So what do you got here?
No doubt, we got some great Columbia River salmon right here and some Willamette Valley Joel got Oregon Pinot Noir. So Joel and his wife Sarah got mostly Napa Valley fruit. They've got some vineyard sourcing up in the beautiful Willamette Valley, Oregon. Pinot goes great with salmon.
And we're gonna have a couple other ones that you're gonna show too, right?
We are. We got a full bag of wine today.
Fire, dude. This has got to be like one of the best salmon trips I've been on, just from the whole experience. I'm feeling good right now. My tummy's feeling good. Everything's feeling good.
All right, so we're gonna make 2 more dishes here on the boat. We're gonna do one. We're gonna do a red wine teriyaki glazed salmon with some kind of fajita style veggies, if you think like Asian fajita style veggies. So we're gonna use this bigger cut for that. The smaller cut, we're gonna do some salmon sandwiches. So once this is all cooked, we're actually gonna kind of slice it and put it onto some sandwiches. We got some really pretty buns. So I've got a homemade barbecue rub here. Again, we don't have all the other seasonings, so we pre-did it. We do that wet hand, dry hand method like we did before. So we have one hand, we'll sprinkle it on. We're gonna have one hand that's gonna rub it in. I'll have this barbecue rub recipe, so anyone that's watching that wants to use it, you'll be able to use it. It's got sugars, it's got salts, it's got black pepper, it's got some celery salt in there, rosemary, kind of your all-around basic rub that's on here. It's gonna add some great flavor, great depth. Again, we're not trying to overpower this fish. We just want to enhance that flavor by utilizing kind of some just basic umami type flavors. On this one, we're gonna do a basic salt and pepper again. The reason we're just doing a basic salt and pepper is because we're gonna really create a beautiful sauce. So we don't want to overpower that. We just want it to have some flavor and some depth. So we'll add a nice layer of that smoked pepper.
You guys aren't taking notes on any of this, you're nuts.
Steak and cutting. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna let this kind of work. It's magic. We want to kind of reduce it until it starts to get a little thicker in there. You can kind of see it sticking to my finger. And then what we'll do is then we'll start basting that salmon to start getting it nice and tacky and sticky. While we're doing that, we're gonna work on the basil and chive mayonnaise that we're gonna use for that salmon sandwich. As well, this is still reducing a little bit.
So as you can see, this is how serious the fishing's now gotten. We're all sitting here waiting around for the third course of the day. We've got a salmon sandwich. What kind of sauce did you put on this, Jeremiah?
The garlic, basil, chive dip.
Going for it again.
Garlic.
Oh. Oh.
This is fantastic. There's great, like Cameron says, great sauce here. Really fresh produce on top of this. This is a really, really fantastic thing to eat on the boat. Everything about what we're eating today is super fresh. Really high quality. Great job, Jeremiah.
I think I do the salmon cake first, taco, and then this.
But I would make any three of these like
They're all amazing.
automatic, like pretty much every spring salmon I catch now that I'm gonna eat, it's gonna be one of these three recipes, probably the fourth, I'm guessing. Because I think there's some teriyaki in the mix coming.
We've been so freaking spoiled today, addicts. I know you guys are watching this episode just drooling.
You should.
You should be. That, uh-oh. We might have a contender here for the cakes.
Boat made teriyaki. This guy's good. I would eat at his restaurant. I don't know, I think this is now my favorite. Gosh dang, it's either this or the salmon cake. I can't decide.
Dude, why did we not come prepared with a spiff today? Or something. You have all these great
I
ideas.
don't know. I mean, we have. I've got some in the hopper. Oh man, I can taste the wine in that sauce. And it's amazing the difference when you're eating really fresh fish. We've all had fish that's pretty fresh, but this is right out of the water. And you can really taste the difference. And all the different flavors that Jeremiah's working on here are marrying together really well. Nothing overpowers anything else. This is really, really exceptional. Guys, if you get an opportunity to catch fish like this and cook it same day, or even out on the water, absolutely do it. It's worth it.
Well, everyone, we're back at the dock. That was probably, Cam, I think the best catch and cook we've ever done on the channel by far.
I challenge anybody in the salmon steelhead world to do a better catch and cook than that.
That was pretty freaking next level. 4 like top tier meals out of those spring Chinook, fresh. I can't say enough about him for coming out. Thank you so much for coming out, man. If you guys, again, like I said, we got links in the description to all of his channels if you guys want to check him out. He's got some really cool stuff on Instagram and a lot of other meals and stuff that he's cooked, so check him out. Thanks again, everyone, so much for watching Addicted. We appreciate all you, and we'll see you on the river.